Hey guys, Railfan220 here again. I haven't made a video in a while, so sorry for that. It's kind of been a little hectic recently, so I haven't really had a chance to do a video. And also, not a lot's happened on the layout. Things have kind of been on pause. As with like the layout progress, the layout progress has kind of been on pause. Still a lot of planning going on, and some pretty exciting stuff, but it doesn't really show in the layout. Everything's pretty much the same. But today I thought I'd do a video that I haven't really ever done, and I'll probably have updates to follow this video. But as you saw, this is a layout roster, or a locomotive roster video, or update, whatever. So this is just what I have right now, and as I get more locomotives, I will upload those videos of those specific locomotives. I actually should be getting an SD75M in BNSF Heritage 2 scheme. That should be coming soon. So I'll do a locomotive roster update when that comes in, and then whatever else happens when I get other locomotives, I'll do updates as well. But I think right now what I'm going to do is just go through all the locomotives, all the units that you've probably seen on the layout, as well as a few that are just DC power and are kind of older, but I guess I'll show those to you too, because some of them are pretty nice, and I like to just have them. I don't really run them just because I haven't upgraded them to DCC, but sometime in the future I might make those locomotives a little project. So I'll show those to you in a second. But first off, I will start over here with this locomotive. This is a Canadian National C44-9W, number 2529. It has DCC and standard lighting. Right now this unit hasn't been upgraded. I'm planning to make this a teardrop, like the proper teardrop cab, as well as the proper Canadian National details, including front and rear ditch lights, the different anti-climber that the Canadian railroads like to use. Same with the rear. I have to replace that. I have to add Canadian details, like removing the cabinet here, won't focus, and then cutting off this little piece here, and some other stuff to go along with that. But I picked this up recently at the train show. It's a nice unit, and you'll probably see a few more videos with that. Over here we have a Bachmann DCCGP382. It's pretty nice. The detail is actually okay for Bachmann. I like it. It's actually got a metal coupler cut bar there that actually lifts up and down, and a few other nice details. It does have DCC, as I said, and runs pretty nice. I'll be replacing the decoder in that, though. So yeah, next locomotive here was my second sound unit that I got. I think I picked this up in February 2012, so about the time they came out. It's a Norfolk Southern ES40DC number 7519 with tsunami sound and DCC. Really nice unit. I love it a lot. Great detail, great pulling power, good sound. I pretty much like everything about it. So they're great units, and I love running around the layout. And then here's another ES44. Well, it's the ES44, so not ES40DC, obviously. But another Gevo. I got this one recently, BNSF 7640. And as you may have noticed, all the locomotives I've shown you as of now aren't BNSF units, and the layout is a BNSF layout based on BNSF operations. So right now it might not show that I modeled BNSF because the majority of the locomotives aren't BNSF, but I'm working on the fleet right now. It just happened to be that these are the locomotives that I picked up. I got a good price on some of them, and so I've kind of got the foreign road fleet built up, but now I need to focus on BNSF power. So yeah, so as I said, this is another Intermountain ES44DC. Doesn't have sound, but it has great lighting features. good puller, and I also weathered it, as you can see, 2 prototype photos. So I think it looks really nice and runs great, so I love that locomotive. Next unit we have here is an SD60 Athen ready to run, but it has great detail. It's almost almost Genesis quality detail, because you have the coupler cut bar, there we go, coupler cut bar, and MU cables up front, and then good detail along the fuel tank, if we can focus here, and then good roof detail as well. You can see the dynamic brake fan there, and then the radiator fans on the roof are nicely detailed and see-through. So it's a nice locomotive, has great detail, and the lights are nice and bright. I don't really mind the incandescent bulbs. I think they look good, and I've only had one instance where they burnt out, but I might replace them at some point, but I think they're nice for now. Let's go over here really quick. Sorry, the locomotives are kind of strewn everywhere because I'm doing a few projects. So this is kind of an informal roster, informal roster video, but I'll try to show you everything. So over here, I picked this up recently. This is a Athen Genesis Norfolk Southern GP15-1. Because it's Athen Genesis, you can see it has great detail. It has working front and rear ditch lights, MU cables, hoses, train airline hoses. You got the bell under there, cab windows that actually open and close. Sorry, that's the wrong pane there. There we go. Open and close, as you can see. Has a cab interior, and it doesn't have DCC right now, and I'm working with it to install DCC. I've had a few issues. The decoder, or the PC board, doesn't really want to accept a decoder, and it attempted to burn through one DCC decoder. So I'm gonna check all the wiring, make sure everything's right. I've already contacted Athen to see if they could help, but I'm kind of having issues getting DCC into this unit. But it runs great on DC. It's an awesome locomotive, and I got it for like 65 bucks, so it was a good deal. The next unit is a Kansas City Southern SD60 that I weathered. It's Proto 2000. You can see it's just the gray scheme. Right now the shell is off, as you can see, because I was doing some maintenance under the hood. Actually, I've got to put the brake wheel back on. But I really like it. Obviously, great puller, because it's Proto 2000. It's got great weight, really heavy, and overall great locomotive. I like it a lot. So that's that. I guess we'll move on now. I gotta go over to my desk so I can look at the 2 of the big AC units that I have on the layout. Okay, so over here you can see I have the 2 AC 4400 CWs, one in the Conrail Heritage unit scheme and one in BNSF Heritage 3. The funny thing is that neither one of these locomotives actually has this scheme applied to it. Obviously Norfolk Southern doesn't own any AC 4400s. This is just a fantasy scheme applied to an AC 4400. It should be an ES44AC, but that's obvious. It's not like it's a downside. I like it as it is. I'll probably keep it, and it's really good quality paint, and it's actually got some good detail. The newer Athen runs are really good. This unit, the prototype, is actually still in Heritage 2 scheme, but I don't really mind this in Heritage 3. Initially I was kind of bothered by that because it actually isn't in that scheme, but I kind of figure that it'll eventually be upgraded to that scheme once the Heritage 2 paint fades to a certain point, or it needs a repaint for some reason. So eventually it'll be upgraded to Heritage 3 unless BNSF comes out with a new scheme. So it's kind of like a unit ahead of time, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. But it's a really nice locomotive. It's got a little damage to it. When I got it shipped back from BNSF Railfans, it kind of got a little beat up. You can see the The ditch lights, ditch lights came off. They were non-working ditch lights, so I'll probably upgrade those eventually, but those fell off. Some of the MU cables fell off. We had a number come off. I actually did add details to this. You can see I added Details West number boards, as well as all the MU hose and cables. And then a few details like the traction motors, or the traction motor cables under the body there. But this unit is weathered as well, as you can see. And I really like it. It's a nice BNSF locomotive, and I'll probably, I mean, it has DCC. I'll probably add sound to it eventually, and a few more details after I get it repaired, because it needs a little touch-up. But we'll move over here to my last DCC and sound locomotive. It's not actually mine. It's BNSF Railfans. But it's a Atlas Gold Line B40-8W and BNSF Heritage 2 scheme, number 551. Really nice locomotive. Does have sound, great detail, and we weathered it this summer, so I like it a lot. And that's about all I have to say about that. So now we're gonna go over and check out some of the other locomotives that aren't really, you don't really see on the layout running a lot, because most of them don't have DCC. So let's go check those out, and that should wrap up the video. Alright, I'm trying to go through this pretty quickly because my camera is telling me that it actually has no battery, so I'll try to go through these really quickly. You can see over here, a lot of these are actually old Bluebox locomotives. This is a Bluebox kit. It's a Canadian Pacific GP382 with the dual flag scheme. I really like it. I think eventually I'll make that a little project, upgrade it, probably swap out the motor, detail it, weather it, add lights and sound and stuff. So it'll be a big project and essentially be building a completely new locomotive, but I'll base it off of this shell and frame. And then over here we have two Southern Pacific SD45s. This one has been detailed by someone, I don't even know who. You can see there was a nose plate there, or something. They filed it down, and then something fell off. But it's pretty nice. It does have the black underbody, which isn't correct, but it doesn't really matter. I like it. I just like all the Southern Pacific stuff. If I wasn't modeling BNSF, and I had to do something from the not modern era, I'd probably do Southern Pacific. Just because I don't know, I like all their locomotives and all the details they added. So the next one, following the theme of Southern Pacific, is a Cotton Belt GP60. I don't know, I like this locomotive. It's pretty detailed, actually. Someone added brass window shades, correct horn, added a antenna plate or something, and then we have the AC unit up here. So a lot of good details, and the paint is correct. Someone custom painted this and it looks pretty good. A lot of these don't have their couplers right now because I pulled them out, either because I needed to use them or I was just checking inside. Next unit is a dummy B40-8. It's the LMX unit. I really like this unit. It's weathered. It has a few issues, like the brass handrails are coming apart, so I need to repair those. But I like the weathering job on it, and I like the LMX units that had the red brow on them. I thought that was pretty cool. So I like this, and it runs well in a consist. Obviously not powered, but it looks good, lashed up with some other power. This is a Kato F40PH Amtrak unit. Runs really nice. I love it. It's got great lighting, and I actually do have a few Amtrak cars that I can run it with. Obviously this is the Phase 3 scheme, so they don't still run this, but I think it's fine. I can use it kind of as an anniversary train, or generally modeling modern era, because they still use these up through the 90s, so in this scheme, I mean. So that's cool. And then I have a few little switchers here. Actually I have 3 of these units. I don't even know who made them, but Baldwin switchers. We've got Great Northern. I also have a Milwaukee Road under there in Santa Fe. They're all dummies, but I just picked them up because they kind of look nice sitting somewhere. So that's that. And then I also have two steam locomotives down here that aren't the nicest. This is a River OC model that had some water damage done to it. Other than that, the detail's really great, and I really love the locomotive. And it looks nice on a display case. I don't think it runs now, which is unfortunate because I really love this unit in real life, and it actually runs pretty well, or it did run well. And then this is a Bachmann GS4 Southern Pacific War Baby 484 locomotive. Obviously, I like this unit. It's nice. I can't really run it now because it's just DC, but I think this is one of the first locomotives I ever purchased. So I don't know. I mean, I like it. That's just some of the stuff that I don't really run, or you probably don't see. I also have a really old unit back there. It's hard to see, but I think it's a Norfolk Southern GP38-2. There's that Milwaukee Road unit, and then this is a dummy NS-9 that I've used parts from it. So I think that's about it. Hopefully that was somewhat interesting. Sorry that it was kind of informal. I kind of walked around everywhere. But hopefully it gives you a sense of the roster I have right now, and you'll see videos and updates coming up where I'll talk about plans that I have for the roster, how I want to expand it, and kind of where I want to take it. And that kind of starts with the incoming SD75M, which should get here sometime soon, and I'll have a roster update on that. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.